Hi, welcome. This is called To the Point, brought to you by Midnight Sun Woodworks. My name is Gary, and we're going to go over some of the beginning stuff for Vectric version 11.5 and version 12. 12 is the new version they have out. They've changed some of the icons, they've deleted a few of them, and they've already made some changes to the new version to uh, help out the users. So I will get out of the way here. And what I'm going to show you is on the left side of my screen is version 11.5. On version 12 is on the right hand side. And when you first start up the program, they have a list here of the last however many programs you've used. Now you can change this number. This one currently has 6. This one only has 3 right now because I haven't used it that much. It'll populate more and more files here. So when you click on Create New, what it will do is bring up a job setup, and at the very top you start out with single-sided job, especially when you're brand new to everything. Everything will be single-sided. Here's where you enter the size of the wood that you're going to be cutting. This is not necessarily the size of the actual cut you make, but this is the wood that you'll be cutting into. Make sure you measure the boards before you cut, because ones that say that they're an inch thick at the big box store are generally only 3/4 of an inch thick, and they say they're 12 inches wide when generally they're only 11 1/4 inches wide. So make sure you measure your board. Then you come down to your zero positioning, and you can zero off the top of your board, or you can zero off your machine bed. Now you generally, on top of your machine bed, you're going to have what's called a waste board, so that if you cut through your top board, you have another board to cut into and you won't ruin your machine. And on version 12, all this is the same, except what they do is highlight the surface. Instead of using a little red ball to move up and down on 11.5, they actually highlight the surface on version 12. Now the datum position doesn't really matter too much. Now if you do a lot of designing, you're going to want to use the center selection, because that way when you design something here in this corner, you'll be able to mirror it across the board center, either to the right or up, and by just mirroring it, it fills in your design a lot quicker. But I always use the lower left corner, because I forget to change that to the lower left corner when it comes time to create your tool paths. The modeling resolution, I just leave on very high. It has no bearing on your design until you get into your 3D designs. And once you start adding thickness to things and you're doing 3D work, you're going to want to have more detail in there. And there are ways of getting a higher resolution so you can see what your tool is actually doing and what marks it's going to leave in the wood or not leave in the wood. But generally you can leave that on very high. Most computers can handle very high, and it's not going to make much difference till you get into 3D modeling anyway. Your material setting is just a representation of the wood that you're using. So you can pick anything you want there. If it's pine or mahogany or maple, it really doesn't matter. It's just something for you to visually see. It's not going to have any effect on your design or your tool path. And then you can just click OK. Now once you do this, you'll see there are some icons up here on the left side that aren't on the right side. And there are 4 of them basically that are missing. Apparently Vectric thought everybody'd be using keyboard shortcuts to do that. And there's been a lot of discussion about it, so they made it so that you could bring back these 4 icons up here. And the way you do that is you go to Edit, you come down to Options, you scroll down till you get to General Settings. And under General Settings, it'll say Show Additional File Operations. And what you want to do is change this to Yes. Now, while you're here, what you can do, that list of recent files that I showed you that had like 6 of them that you could just click on and it would open that file up. You can change that setting right here under recent file list, and you can also change a list of recent fonts that you have used. So when you go into type things in, it'll list your most commonly used fonts, and you can change that to whatever number you want. Right now I've got them set to 6. You can pick whatever you want. So then you pick OK, and now you can see these 4 fonts are now back up on the very top, and what they represent is a new. You can click Save, Undo, or Redo, and I use these quite a bit, and these are why Vectric decided to give you a way to bring these back. When you start using your actual screens, like circle is the first one, you can actually put in numbers here, like if you wanted this at 4 and 4 and a radius of 4.6, and just hit create and close. It creates that circle for you. The other way of doing it is click on the circle. You can left click your mouse button, hold it down, drag it out, and you can make whatever size circle you want. Then if you have to apply and close it to keep making circles. Then you can select them and just delete the ones you don't want. And to change the size of the circle manually, all you have to do is double click it with your left mouse button. Now I can take that center point and move it anywhere I want. Or if I want to make the circle bigger or smaller, but keep it the same as far as the circle goes, you hold down your shift button and click the corner button, and you can move it in and out, and it'll keep it geometry the same. You can click on the side of the circle and drag it out if you want to make it more oblong. You can also come up to these blue corners, and that will rotate the item for you. So that's just a quick, easy way of doing it. Now this will be true through all these through the ellipse, the square, it's also the same. Now over in version 12, if you go to create, let's say, a square. Now if you're in 2D, it just looks like a square, but if you click on your 3D view up here at the top, what it will do is, if you highlight the corner, it will give you the dimensions of your square right on your screen. And if you want to change it, you would change it just by holding your shift key down and dragging it. Now the other good thing is, in 3D view, you can click this little circle inside the square and you can drag it inward and it'll just round off the corners, or you can push it outward and it'll give you that other design. So that's a real quick, easy way of changing the design of your square and making it whatever you want. And it's nice having those dimensions right on the screen. And this is true throughout a lot of the designs. But you have to be in the 3D view in order to do it. The 11.5 won't do that way. So let me get rid of a couple of these things. And for instance, on the star in version 12, if you hit create and close it, you can click on it. As long as you're in 3D view, it'll give you dimensions. You can drag it bigger. And then to change the shape of the star, all you do is highlight this white circle and you can change the shape of the star. So this makes it a lot handier. These are some of the improvements in version 12 that are not in 11.5. And in 11.5 you have text, where you can just type your text and it will be whatever size you tell it to be, whatever the text height you put in here. If you put like 1.5, it'll make it bigger. They also have text in a box. So what you would do is draw a box first. Let me draw a square. Make sure that's selected. Then you hit your T with the box around it, and the text you type will be inside that box and it will stay inside the box. It keeps shrinking it down and adjusts the size of the text so it will stay in the box. In version 12, you click the A there and then you select text or text in a box up here. So it's just a little bit different. And I'll get rid of this again. You can put text on a curve if you want. If you have like a circle or a half circle, you can actually type your text and then tell it to put it on a curve. The same is true over here in version 12. If you notice down here, I've got a lot of these. Generally, when you first start your program out, it'll look more like this. And what this does is center everything. Like if I put a box here and I have it a little bit off to the side, I can click this and then it'll center it inside of whatever else I have. Like if I have another box, that represents more of the material, I can click this one and center it, and it should move it right to the center of everything. Now, if you want these, instead of having to go through this one to get to all these other alignments, this is a line left and right, this is dead center, this is up and down. You can center things inside of other things by using this, or push them to the edges. But if you want these to automatically show up on your screen all the time, you just come down here and click this checkbox that says Show Common Tools on Drawing tab. Then click Close, and you'll see these are all right down here now. We're in version 12. They're right down here. I'm assuming, yes, it has the exact same thing. If you don't want them to show up all the time, you just uncheck that. Now you have to click this to get to all the other alignments, all these alignments. But I usually have mine open all the time. So these are some of the things to help you get started, start playing with some of these create vectors. You can come down, let me clear this screen out. And if you come down to clip art, you have all kinds of clip arts. They divide them out into subfolders basically. And like if you want an animal, you click on animals, and all you do is double click that, and it'll put it right dead center of your design. And of course you have a 2D view and a 3D view of it. That's what a 3D view of it is. It's just a horse in a dish. And again, to change the size of it, hold down your shift key to make it symmetrical. And the same is true over in version 12. Once you get to your clip arts, they divide them out again. And there is so much software here. It's unbelievable that you can order packages that have projects kind of put together. You know, it might have like a row of trees with a cabin with you know, a fireplace and some deer or ducks flying or a pond in it. They have all kinds of things on the Vectric software. It's called it's called Design and Make. And there's all kinds of things you can order. You can order more individual projects like this, or you can order where they're built up for you already, and all you have to do is cut them out. So this will help get you started. Once you do this, you come over to your tool path, and then you figure out what tool to use and how to cut it. And that'll be another video. I just wanted to get you started. For those who are brand new to this stuff, it takes a while to learn it, but once you get going in it, it becomes very easy and very simple to work out. So hope this helps you out some. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. It'd help the channel. Thank you.